fact, you may be the next person to receive the next miracle. About 3 months ago, Chuck and I decided that we needed a budget badly. So we started figuring out our finances. Guess what? We were going backwards, $700 a month. So we decided we better start working on it. We ended up cutting out a whole lot of things, including internet and cable TV and multitude of little things in order to bring it down. Well, we've got it down to minus $200 a month, and that doesn't include food. We decided we needed a plan. So Chuck would pay this out of his check. What he gets, I would pay out of my check. There's still $200 left, happens to be the car payment. That would be God's. That was the only way that it would work. And guess what? All summer long, we were able to pay that $200. One way or the other. I had a yard sale, I did a little flea market selling. Chuck got a few jobs in which he hasn't been getting in. And just various things. Food-wise, we applied for a food card. We didn't get it right away, but people brought us food, and we stood in food lines and a few nickels that we could scrape together for milk and eggs and things from one day to the next. Well, that was just the beginning. Chuck decided that he needed to start studying the Bible seriously, and he's been doing a lot of studying, and he also decided there were a few amends he needed to make from past wrongs. About 2 weeks ago, he went and apologized to his cousin for something in the past. And on his way home, he stopped at the end of the driveway, got the mail. In the mail was a letter to his mother, who had been deceased for 45 years, or about that. What is this letter? What does somebody want with my mother, he thought. He opened it up. It said, "Your property is being foreclosed for failure to pay 2008 taxes." Chuck is going, what property? He started doing some research. He made some trips to Muskegon because it came from the Muskegon Treasurer's office. Found out the property was property that he had remembered having a picnic on when his kids were very small. And he thought it was that his parents had gotten rid of it long before. It's 5 acres. Most of it is swamp land. There's about an acre of buildable land on it. But then he wondered who paid those taxes. So he went and he found out who had been paying the taxes. Then he started thinking, oh yeah, I have to remember my dad telling me that he was letting this guy use this property if he would pay the taxes on it. So he thought, well, let's find out more about this. So he went and talked to the neighbor who was right next door to the 5 acres. And the neighbor started to tell him that the guy had been camping there for a lot of years. And a few years ago, he started getting kind of weird. And at one time, he got a dump truck stuck down in the property in the mucky part. And it took 2 wreckers about 4 hours to get the dump truck out. And shortly after that, the police arrested the guy for driving without a license. The neighbors said that they've seen him occasionally lately riding on a bike, said he was eating out of dumpsters, and he has started to let, or did let for who knows how long, people dump on the property. Chuck decided he would go in there and look around, and sure enough, he found a dump. I mean, he was sick. He took some pictures. I'll pass these around afterwards because they're not good quality to show up here, but you can see. There's old cars, there's refrigerators, there's grocery carts, there's bags and bags of who knows what. I don't want to know. And so then he took me down there to see, and I got sick to my stomach when I went and looked at it. I couldn't believe that anybody would let a beautiful piece of property like that turn into that nauseating mess. Even so, Chuck decided, okay, I'm going to go pay the first taxes. Lo and behold, we'd been paying the credit card down with our budget plan, and he had just enough to pay the 2008 taxes on that credit card. So he paid that to stop the foreclosure. He talked to the neighbor. The neighbor offered him $15,000 for the property, and he would help clean it up. Our neighbor where we live is a builder. He took him down there and he said, I'll give you $30,000 for it and I'll clean it up myself. According to the tax rules, it should be worth about $44,000. We got even more curious and he decided, let's call the township supervisor and find out what our options are, what's going on with this property as far as the township's concerned. The township supervisor said there are over $1,000 in fines on that property for trash dumping. And we're going, oh my gosh. But he said, we will waive those fines if you get that cleaned up right away. Because now they know who the owner really is. It's really Chuck's dad yet at this point, but it's Chuck's responsible anyway. And we're going, how can two older people who, even though our brains are willing, our bodies don't want to do it, clean up old cars, refrigerators, trailers, trash. There's a little hamper there that Chuck opened the door and slammed it shut again. It was just sickening. How can we clean that up? Mulled that over for a couple days and decided to go see Johnny Mink. He's a used auto parts salvage dealer yard in Nunica. Well, Johnny said, I know that property. I'll clean it up. I'll try to get it done in 60 days, weather permitting. And guess what? He started yesterday. What a relief, because we had no clue, and we would have had to pay over that $1,000 worth of fines. Chuck still has a lot of trips to make between West Olive, Muskegon, the lawyer in Grand Haven, the Fruitport Township Supervisor's office, in order to get everything straightened out and get the property in his name. But we have hope. We have hope that we can sell that property, pay off our bills, live without any more pressure, but live on what we've made in the last, what our checks are every month. Or maybe we can sell the house we live in, build a little retirement home, and live on that neat piece of property. We don't know what we're going to do, but God knows. One thing we do know, anything can happen at any time. And we do believe in miracles. And Toastmasters.